A number of celebrities have faced jail time throughout the years. Many of these cases involve relatively minor offenses, but then there are the ones whose illegal activity reaches a far more serious magnitude. The severity of the crimes are shocking for many fans, especially for the actors and entertainers with more wholesome appeal. So let's take a look at some of the celebrities that are now in prison doing hard time. Ryan Grantham was a young Canadian actor whose career initially appeared to be filled with potential. During a relatively short time in the acting industry, he was in nearly 40 films and television series. His acting debut was in the 2007 TV film The Secret of the Nutcracker, followed by an appearance in the major sci-fi film Jumper in 2008. Grantham was featured in various other film and television projects before landing roles in The Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus and Diary of a Wimpy Kid. The majority of his TV appearances included iZombie, Supernatural, and Riverdale, which marked his final acting credit. His promising career in Hollywood was abruptly halted by a tragic crime that occurred on March 31st, 2020, when he shot his mother in the back of the head. After his brutal crime, he then made a video confession and even plotted to kill Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. Grantham was convicted and received a life sentence in prison, with the possibility of parole after 14 years. Sean "Diddy" Combs was a prominent rapper, record producer, and music executive. He is credited with the discovery and promotion of the likes of Notorious B.I.G., Mary J. Blige, and Usher, not to mention his own successful music career that made him a household name. But recently that has all changed. Following the filing of multiple lawsuits against him in 2024, the situation escalated further when he was arrested and charged with sex trafficking, racketeering conspiracy, and transportation for the purpose of prostitution. The fallen music executive has been denied a pretrial release and is currently being detained at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn, New York, until his trial, which may take several more months to begin. If convicted, he could face a substantial sentence with many years behind bars.
I made a mistake. I have done everything that I can do to not be the person who does what I did.
Amy Locane is an actress who began her career in the 1980s. She was in the short-lived sitcom Spencer and the 1989 movie Lost Angels. She then starred with Johnny Depp in the 1990 comedy musical Crybaby, before landing a recurring role on the popular TV series Melrose Place. Her acting career experienced a massive setback following an incident after a wrap party for a theater production in 2010. After drinking too much, she was involved in a car accident on her way home in New Jersey. The collision proved deadly when she hit another vehicle while speeding, killing a woman and injuring her husband. She was convicted of vehicular manslaughter and initially sentenced to 3 years in prison. However, after multiple appeals and resentencing, in 2020 she received an additional 8-year sentence. Locane was released from custody on December 20th, 2024. Danny Masterson is best known for playing hippie Stephen Hyde on the TV series That 70s Show. More recently, he was on the Netflix series The Ranch, where he reunited with his That 70s Show co-star Ashton Kutcher. In 2017, the LAPD initiated an assault investigation involving Masterson after 3 women reported rape allegations against him. Each incident, which took place at his house between 2001 and 2003, involved Masterson providing the women with alcohol and then sexually assaulting them. He maintained his innocence, but was taken into custody in early 2021. In 2022, the initial trial resulted in a hung jury. A retrial followed the next year, and Masterson was found guilty on 2 of the 3 charges. He received a sentence of 30 years to life in prison. An interesting element of this case involved the Church of Scientology, of which all 3 victims were members. All 3 women stated the church tried to shield him from any accountability and pressured them not to go to the authorities. In 2013, actress Shannon Richardson, known for her zombie role in The Walking Dead, pleaded guilty to charges of developing, producing, possessing, and transferring a toxin intended for use as a weapon. She had sent threatening letters containing poison to then-President Barack Obama and New York Mayor Michael Bloomberg. Richardson obtained the materials to make the deadly poison by using a credit card registered in her husband's name, essentially framing him for the crime. She was pregnant at the time and was also in the process of divorcing her husband. The FBI collected and examined all the mailed correspondence, which referenced gun control. To frame her husband, she placed incriminating evidence in his vehicle and also stated that he made her send the mail. Despite her efforts, she was arrested in 2013 and convicted of the manufacture and possession of a biological weapon, ultimately receiving an 18-year prison sentence. Michael Jace was best known as Officer Julian Lowe in the FX police drama The Shield. He also made appearances in the films Forrest Gump and Boogie Nights. On May 19, 2014, at his home in the Hyde Park neighborhood of Los Angeles, he fatally shot his wife April while their young sons, aged 5 and 8, listened from their bedroom. Prosecutors further contended that Jace, who had been drinking all day, was obsessed with the idea his wife might leave him, even believing she was having an affair.
I didn't commit first-degree murder. There was no premeditated anything.
Michael Jace was convicted of second-degree murder in 2016, and he was sentenced to 40 years to life in prison. Joe's son had minor roles in low-budget action films during the 1990s. He later played a villainous henchman in the 1997 film Austin Powers, International Man of Mystery. These performances occurred after Son's involvement in a serious crime, for which he was convicted and sentenced long after establishing his presence in Hollywood. On December 24, 1990, Son was involved in the kidnapping, assault, and torture of a woman, and it took until 2008 for them to connect the DNA evidence linking him to the crime. In 2011, he was convicted, receiving a life sentence. Shortly after his long sentence began, Son, who was trained in martial arts, assaulted and killed his prison cellmate. Prosecutors sought a second life sentence, but it was reduced to voluntary manslaughter. An additional 27 years was added to his sentence. Let me know in the comments if I missed anything, and please consider subscribing and sharing Recollection Road Entertainment with someone you know. As always, thank you so much for watching.